Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it finally happened. Defensive coordinator Shane Bowen has been fired, and the New York Giants are relieved of that terrible defensive coordinator. In this episode, I'll break down why and where this team goes from here. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Bet the Over. I'm your host, Kevbo, and let's get right into it. The Giants have fired Shane Bowen, defensive coordinator. This has been news that I've been waiting to hear for the past 3 weeks at this point. He was blowing games left and right. I think he should have been terminated after the Cowboys game, if not the Broncos game. And in this episode, we'll break down why, what went wrong, what happened with the team and the defense specifically. So after this last win or loss to the Detroit Lions, which should have been a win, I think John Mara had enough. Mike Kafka had enough. They decided to finally terminate Shane Bowen. He had it coming. As of right now, according to PFF, the New York Giants currently have the 30th best defense in the league, which, if you don't know football, there's 32 teams. So they're the second worst offense, or no, second worst, third worst defense in the league. And the main reason why this is a surprise is because before the season started, the New York Giants defense was actually supposed to be their strong suit. They signed a couple of great players in free agency in Javon Holland and Paulson Adebo. There's obviously some other, I know, like Golston. There's some other players that they signed, but those were the two big ones. They invested a lot of money into this defense. As we all know, they went to number 3 overall. They drafted Abdul Carter, who has been kind of underperforming at this point. His pressure numbers are pretty good, but the sacks have not been there. You have defensive tackle Dexter Lawrence, who hasn't played up to his standard, even though he did pick it up the past couple of weeks. You have the second leader in sacks as of right now, which is Brian Burns. I think he has 15 at this moment. He was in first place for a couple weeks, but Myles Garrett took over that role. And honestly, you have a lot of talent throughout this defense. There's a lot of first round picks here. You got Dexter Lawrence, Kayvon Thibodeau, Abdul Carter. I think that's most of the first round picks, but specifically up front on the defensive line, they've devoted a lot of resources to that D line, and it just has not been playing up to their standard. Before the season started, if you would have asked me what the Giants would rank in defense, I would have said they, on paper, should have a top 5 defense. I mean, what other teams are better than them up front? Maybe Denver, Philadelphia, Minnesota's pretty good. Other than that, I mean, you can't really think of many other defensive lines that are as loaded as the Giants, and it just hasn't been there. Now, the main reason I think Bowen has been fired is due to his play calling. You saw it in the Dallas game. You saw it in the Broncos game. He tends to tighten up, I guess you could say, and drop everyone back into coverage when there's limited time left. It happened against Dallas when Dak threw the ball up the seam for about 30 yards and they got Aubrey in field goal range, the best kicker in the league. In that situation, you can't do that because you know if you gave Aubrey anything shorter than a 65-yarder, he can easily hit that. He has the biggest leg in the league. They did that against Denver where Bo Nix threw it up to, I think it was Sutton or Franklin Myers in overtime, I think it was, or end of the game. I think it was Sutton. He jumped up, mossed some guy. They were all playing 20 yards off and somehow there was still completion. And it's just, the defense was not living up to their standard. I mean, to have the talent they have and give up 30 points, 34 points, granted it is the Detroit Lions, it's just inexcusable considering the offense looks so good. We had Jameis Winston out there playing like a top 10 quarterback. We got one of those games out of him because when he starts, it's 50-50. You'll either get the best quarterback in the league or you'll get the worst quarterback in the league. Now, let me go into a bit of the stats. So obviously last game, they gave up 34 points to the Detroit Lions. I mean, it is a great offense. So, I mean, I guess you can't necessarily blame them too much, but at the same time, the past, 5 games, they gave up 34 to Detroit, they gave up 27 to Packers, 24 to the Bears, 34 to the 49ers, 38 to the Eagles, 33 to the Broncos. So 1, 2, 3, 4 out of their last 6 games, they've given up 30 plus points, and enough is enough. You cannot continue to do that and win football games. And the most frustrating part is their offense actually looks pretty good. Whether it's Dart out there, whether it's Winston, they're moving the ball, they're scoring points. I mean, you would have asked me last year, the Giants are dropping 20 points a game. I would have taken that deal 10 out of 10 times because last year they were like the worst offense in the league. Now, where the Giants should go from here, I mean, you obviously are going to need to hire a new defensive coordinator. I wish the Giants never got rid of Wink. I know that might not have been possible because I know him and Dable didn't have the best relationship. But man, Wink with this defense would be special. I think Abdul Carter would have triple the amount of sacks, if not more, probably 5 times the amount of sacks with Wink out there. They need to play more attacking, I feel, because dropping into coverage obviously doesn't seem to work. They've been doing that the whole season, and they're giving up some of the most points in the league. I mean, defensively, like I said, they're rated 30th in the league. Now, I think in another episode this week, I'm going to break down the Detroit Lion game specifically, like what went wrong there, the offense and the defense. But it's obviously good news. I mean, Shane Bowen was terrible. I'm kind of surprised because when he was the defensive coordinator of the Titans, he was pretty good. I mean, they always had a pretty decent defense throughout the year or throughout the years he was there. I'm a little surprised the Giants didn't fire Bowen last week with Dable. Was a little surprising to me. I think they both kind of should have just went at the same time. But it was something the Giants needed to do. I mean, Mara, you had to fire him. There was no way they were going to go another season with Shane Bowen as the DC. That's about it for this episode. Comment down below who you think they should hire next. Me personally, I think we should hire more of an aggressive defensive coordinator because I think with this pass rush, they should be getting home pretty frequently. Because Abdul Carter, although he has been underwhelming, he definitely has shown flashes of being capable of getting to the quarterback quickly. You obviously have Brian Burns, second most sacks in the league so far. You have Dexter Lawrence, who was leading the league in pressures the past 3 years at DT, him or Chris Jones. And man, it's just been an underwhelming defensive showing from the Giants this whole season. So comment down below who you think the new defensive coordinator should be. And I'll probably drop another episode this week breaking down the Detroit Lions game and all the offense plus the defense, special teams, all that good stuff. Thanks for tuning in again, guys. Have a great Thanksgiving.